to my YouTube channel. What we are doing today is we're going to be doing some flat lay photography, and I'm going to be going through how to lay out your products in a flat lay position. So that means when you are shooting from above, essentially in a bird's eye view type of way. So yeah, we're just going to be running through how to lay out your products in a pleasing way that will actually get the viewer of your image interested in your products. So I've got my sewing kit here. I've got loads of threads and a thimble and some scissors, some pins, all that kind of thing that we're going to be using to create our flat lay composition today. We're going to be using natural light to do this photo. So I've got my camera set up here, it's pointing down, and on the floor here I've got like a little plinth basically that I'm going to use as my background for these photos. And this is all set up by the window here. So we're getting to that time of day where the light comes shining through this window. I've left the curtains drawn so that we get a nice soft effect on that light. So we're going to start setting everything up, and then hopefully by the time we've set everything up, that light will start shining through to light up our product. Okay, so I'm going to just sit down here to make sure that you guys can all see me, and I'm just going to start taking some of these little threads and things out. So I've got a series of threads just like this one in all different colours. So I'm just going to start by laying these out in just a nice orientation across here, and just playing with the colours and just lining up everything nice and neatly. So this is just going to take me maybe a couple of minutes just to lie this out, and I'm going to try and get that looking nice. So if I just flip my screen so that I can see what I'm doing. Space to flip, that's annoying. Okay, so I can just see that if I go like this. So it's very important to check what you're doing on your camera and how it's actually looking in the camera whilst you're setting everything up. It's not just about how you're laying it down here, it's also what it looks like in the camera as well that is important. And now with things like thread, make sure you haven't got any loose ends, make sure everything is just looking neat and tidy basically. So I've still got quite a few more of these hidden down the bottom here. So I've got loads of different colours here. So we can get a really nice just line of colours. Now I'm just laying these out just to have a look and see what I've got at this stage. Oh, there we go, there's one rolling away. As I said, you've got to just take your time, lay it all out, make it look pretty. So we're going to get a nice line going across. So I just need to roll this one back up. So as I said, just keeping everything neat and tidy. So just like this. It's all about taking your time, making sure everything is right, and not dropping it like I just did there, because that doesn't help. So now I've got to do it again. So just again, keeping it tidy, looking clean. That is the main thing, and not to be too cluttered as well. So when you are taking these kind of photos, we can add in props, which is why I've got my whole sewing kit here, because we will start adding in some props at some point. But it's just about keeping it clean and simple. When you are adding in props, you don't want to be adding in too many props. You want to keep it simple. It's all about the simplicity. That is the most important thing when it comes to taking photos like this. It's just keeping it simple, keeping that focus on your product. You don't want someone who's looking at the picture to not be able to tell exactly what your product is. So again, just going to check that up there. And I'm quite liking that. The line's not very straight, so I'm just going to straighten that line up. Again, being very gentle, little movements, just getting everything looking Perfect. Okay. So really just taking my time here to line this all up exactly how I want it. Okay. That light is going to be shining through here any minute. You can see that shadow creeping closer and closer, and we're starting to get a little bit of light coming across there. So that is the first thing that I just want to do, a very basic, just a line of my products. So let's now just have a look at my exposure and all of those settings. So I am currently on ISO 100, 1/6 of a second and f/4.5, and that is saying to me that it's going to come out way too bright. Oh, let's see, I'm taking a picture. So actually that hasn't come out too bright. The background is a little bit bright, but overall that picture is actually quite a nice picture. I'm actually really quite liking that. There is a little bit of overexposure, so I will just shorten my shutter speed just a little bit to make sure that we are getting a nice exposure there. So let's just shorten that shutter speed to let's do 1/15 of a second, and let's see how this one comes out. Alright, so yeah, that looks a lot better. That's looking much nicer. We're starting to get the detail in the threads there. Now what I am noticing when I zoom in on this is that some of these threads are still sticking out a little bit. So I just want to tidy that up again. So I'm just going to come back in here, just like on that one. I don't know if you can see, but that little tiny bit there is sticking out. So just making sure that everything is pressed down. Nothing is sticking out where it shouldn't be. So again, this one here, we can see there's a thread sticking out. So just making sure that that is nice and tightly wrapped. If I just lick my finger, I can push that down and get that to stay down. Okay, so that just a little bit, just like that, really just help to make everything look neat and tidy. This one doesn't want to stick down. There we go, that one is. So again, if you've got something like that or it just doesn't want to go how you want it, just turn it so that it's not facing the camera. So that part of the image that doesn't look so good, turn it so it's away from the camera. This one. Just in there. And now just again making sure, because I've moved some things, so just making sure that's all nicely lined up again. Okay, and then this black one here. Okay, just light that one down on the end there. And again, just check what it looks like on my screen. Yeah, it's looking a little bit wonky. So I think it's this one here. Just keeping everything straight. So hard when you're dealing with little things like this. You've just got to be really careful and just take your time. Don't rush. That is really annoying me and doesn't want to go into place. So something like that. Still looks a little wonky, but I'm happier with that. Okay, so yes, that is coming out much nicer now. And just so you guys are aware, I'm gonna be cropping these pictures into a square, so you won't be seeing the tiles on either side of my block there. You're just gonna be seeing the white square as the background. You're not gonna be seeing any of the things on the side. So that's just a very basic, simple lineup of all the different threads there. So I'm going to just have a play around. Whilst we've got it like this, let's try and add in a few props, just to add a little bit more interest to the picture, shall we say. So I'm going to I've got a little pair of scissors here, just going to open them up. And again, keeping an eye as to how things look in my screen. So I put them at a little bit of an angle, just like that, and grab a thimble, and let's just put the thimble over there, maybe right on its side, something like that maybe. How is that looking in the screen? That thimble's really sort of catching the light, so I might swap these over. I might put this one on this side, and then put this one a little bit further away from the light, something like that maybe. And then got a tape measure as well, so let's just have a little bit of the tape measure coming in somewhere. So have this maybe something like that. Turn that over so you can see it's a tape measure. So maybe something a little bit like that. I'm not quite liking how that's laying there. So again, just knocked my threads. I have nicely lined up. Little things like this. It just takes some time to work out how to make this work in a nice way. So keep checking from the inside. Here, maybe like that. No, I think we're going to have anything, I think just lie that out. No, I'm not quite liking this at all. I think I'm going to take this one out completely. It's been folded up in my sewing kit for so long that there's a lot of creases in it. So I think I'd need to actually sort of iron that out to get that looking really quite nice, or maybe I can just use a little bit of blue tack to hold it across there like that maybe, so that we don't have the actual effects, but I'm not sure that it's really working. So I do have a few little buttons here, maybe we can add some of them in just to give that just that effect of sewing. Buttons always add in that effect of sewing. Oh, and again, these are so small. It's really hard to work with them. And that one is a different button from the others. So again, I've got 2 white buttons and I've got these 4 clear ones and a little tiny safety pin as well. So let's just take that picture. I'm quite liking how that's laid out at the minute. Let's see how it comes out. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's coming out quite nice. As that sun is coming through, our exposure is changing and things are now a little bit too bright. So I might just have to keep changing my exposure as we go through this. So again, I'm just going to reduce that shutter speed a little bit. So we were on 1/15. Let's put it up to 125 and let's try that again. Yes, that looks much better. I am really liking adding those props in. It's starting to give us a little bit of something in the picture, which is great. But I kind of still feel like this is a little bit boring as such. So I feel like we can do a lot more with this image. So I'm just going to put these buttons back in here before I lose them. So these are the 2 that I didn't use in that picture. And I'm going to just, instead of having this in a line, let's try creating a different shape. So let's just move these other props out of the way for just a minute. Okay, and let's see what kind of shapes I can make with having all of these here. So again, move these buttons out of the way. Okay, let's see if I can make a different kind of shape. So we've already got sort of a line coming down like this. Good. Stay. Or if we can do this into a bit of a circle with all the different colours. So it's just a matter of playing and taking our time. That's all we have to do. Just keep playing. Okay. Something like this is just going to take a bit of time to get this all perfectly lined up how I want it. The circle's not quite looking very circular at the minute, but that's okay. We can fix that. Just get everything kind of in place, and then we can work on the actual shape. Now my hands are shaking. Steady hands is also needed. Okay, just looking perfect like that. Getting all these angles where we want them, so that we've got a reasonably even gap between every single piece of thread. Oh, just getting it lined up exactly how we want it. Really can take a few minutes to get it looking perfect, but I think maybe we are there. Let's have a look on the screen. Yes, we have a perfect circle there. So I'm really quite liking how that is lined up. So let's just take the picture as it is for now, just so you can see that perfect circle that I've created there. Now that's come out. I really quite like how that's come out there. Now we can add a little bit of an extra something to this. Now what I have got is I've got these pins here. I've got these all just in a little case. So I'm going to try and open this without them going everywhere. I'm going to maybe put some of these. They've got really nice, colourful bits on the end. You can see that. So I'm just going to lay these out in a way in the middle. So what I might do is I might just place one inside each of these. Again, this is really going to take, that one's a bit bent, so I'm going to leave that one out. So again, this is really just going to take some time to get this laid out how I want it. Getting everything perfect. It's never easy doing these kind of things. So, and I want to just make sure I have a mix. I've got 4 different coloured pins here, so I want to just make sure that I'm getting them all in nicely as well. This is the kind of thing where I need a pair of tweezers. I might actually go and get a pair of tweezers in a minute just to help me lay these out. It is very, very time consuming, but that's okay. We've got time. It's going to take a little while, but we don't mind, okay? Taking time, being careful, getting everything lined up exactly where we want it is the key to a really great photo. So I've got more than 4 colours here, so I didn't realise that. We've got a complete mix of colours, which is great because we're going to just get so much colour coming into this picture. I'm sorry, I keep fidgeting. It's not that comfortable sitting on the floor, as you can imagine, but that's okay. I can deal with it as we do this photo. So again, just add another one in there. And a circle. Perfect as well, that's better. So we're going to get some really sort of interesting shapes coming through in this now. Really what I'm hoping for and really wanted to get. So I think this is going to be a really cool, different photo to what you might expect to get. Let's add a bit more green in there. Okay. And everything perfect, so I need 2 more. Let's add another white. We haven't got much white, and another purple as well. And then I think we will be done with adding pins, and it will just be a matter of getting everything lined up exactly as we want it. So how does that look on the camera? I think that's looking really quite cool. Again, just come up here and just have a check. Yes, that is looking really quite cool. I'm just going to leave it like that. Just make sure my focus is in the right place, and just hit that to take another picture. And you can see again how now we've not just got that circle, we've now got a series of lines inside of that circle. Okay, so those lines just draw your eye around the picture. You're looking at that circle, you're going in and out of that circle, going from one roll of thread to another roll of thread, constantly moving around the photo. So that's a technique that we call leading lines, where you have lines that lead you through the image. So I'm actually really happy with that picture. I think that has come out really quite well. Maybe we can just add some buttons around the edge, but I haven't got that many buttons, so I think we might just leave it there for those ones. Let's just try, see what happens if I add a button in the corner there. Maybe I just create a pile of buttons here, so we get a little bit more height coming in. Now these are quite clear buttons, they're not giving us they're not really adding much to the image. So I think just leaving that as it is, because that has worked really, really beautifully. I really do like how that has come out. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. What we have done is we have gone just through the different ways that you can lay out smaller products in a flat lay composition. It has taken us a little bit of time to get everything perfect, and it takes a lot of patience, especially when you're working with small products, because you do have to have very steady hands, and just making those little tiny adjustments is everything that is needed to get the picture perfect. So make sure when you are doing a flat lay picture like this that you are taking your time to make sure that everything is perfect. So that is everything that I wanted to go through with you today. So again, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications about when I have a new video for you to come and watch. I do share those new videos every Friday, so make sure that you are checking out what I am up to. And then I also have a Facebook group as well. The link is in the description below for that. In there, I'm sharing daily tips, and we have contests, and it's a great place for you to get a little bit of feedback on your photos as well. So make sure you come and join that community. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.